represented by ARD Dr. Annabel Lima. Director Alberto T. Escobarte of DepEd 11 is represented by Jemar Batukan. For our special non-voting members, we have Director Edelberto L. Areza, DNR NGB 11. Director Loreto G. Rirao of OCD 11. Mr. Antonio T. De La Cruz, President of the DCCII, Chamber of Commerce of Davao. Okay. Then from our local government units, we have Honorable Eutropio S. Hayektin of Monte Vista, Conval. Okay, also we have with us the Regional Director of the Department of Tourism, Robbie Alabado III. Our guest from the Department of Science and Technology, ASEC Raymond E. Liboro, Joe Bianti Briones of the Project NOAA, General Francisco Villaroman, the Chief of our Public Safety Command Center and Security Command Center, and our host for today's meeting, Dr. Alimbar P. Asum, DOST ICTO, Director Feliciano Calorca of Picard, Director Edgar Garcia of TAPI. Then we have with us Regional Director of the Department of Labor and Employment, Geoffrey Suyao. So, Mr. Chair, I think we have a quorum for today's meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. But before we proceed, I would like to make a short statement to our Honorable Mario Montejo, Secretary of the Department of Science and Technology, Assistant Secretary Raymond Liboro, and Regional Director Anthony Sales, Vice Chairperson Maria Lourdes D. Lim of the RDC 11, Retired General Francisco Villaroman, Head of the Davao City Public Safety and Security Command Center, members of the RDC 11 Executive Committee, Vice Governor Manuel Zamora, local chief executives in attendance as represented by the respective representatives, guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. One of the core beliefs of Davao region and its development stakeholders is that inclusive growth cannot be realized without science, technology, and innovation being infused in our development policies, processes, investments, and projects. We recognize that science, technology, and innovation, or STI, in our is a key driver of economic growth and a vital support for the growth and expansion of the agriculture, industry, and services sectors. Thus, STI plays a critical role in generating employment and reducing poverty while building resiliency among our LGUs and increasing the productivity of our key industries. Recognizing the strategic function of STI in achieving inclusive growth, the updated Davao Regional Development Plan 2014-2016 has devoted a specific component chapter focusing solely on science, technology, and innovation. Chapter 5 of the updated DRDP assesses the region's level of achievement regarding outcomes on STI, identifies the binding constraints on the promotion of STI in the region, draws out a strategic framework for promoting and accelerating adoption of STI, and outlines strategies that will guide policy and program efforts for achieving a science, technology-based, and innovation-driven regional economy. By 2016, the region aims, among others, to increase research and development, or R&D, spending from 0.11% of GRDP to 0.40%. We also target to increase the average number of R&D human resource from 181 per 1 million population in 2009 to 500 per 1 million population in 2016. In terms of policy agenda, the RDC-11 is pushing for the creation of ST, S&T, and R&D committees at the regional, provincial, city, and municipal levels to support STI efforts region-wide. The region also aims to increase R&D technology adoption and innovation by small farmers, fisher folk, and industries, and boost S&T infrastructure and human capital investments, in addition to mainstreaming disaster resiliency in our communities. Towards these objectives and targets, the RDC-11 is being supported by a host of public and private development partners, most notably the Department of Science and Technology. The DOST and its regional office here in Davao region have continually committed and steadfastly supported the development trust of the RDC-11. Proof of this is Director Anthony Sales, who has ably led the Social Development Committee of the RDC-11 as its chairperson since 2011. But beyond this, Davao Region is a proud host to a number of top-notch higher education institutions, both private and state-run, that have both the capability and the motivation to push the agenda on climate change adaptation to a higher notch. A notable collaboration is between the DOST-11 and UP Mindanao, partnering to conduct offshoot projects on the LIDAR program, particularly on river basins and flood forecasting. There is immense potential that can be generated if the government forges or invigorates existing partnerships with our various academic institutions in the region. Please continue to tap them and bring them into the loop. So it is against this backdrop of a strong spirit of cooperation that I express my profound appreciation and congratulations to the DOST for choosing Davao Region to be the pilot region for the first leg of the National Science Tour. Choosing Davao Region and Mindanao, for that matter, to launch this banner program speaks so much of the dedication of the DOST to bring Davao and this island ever closer to inclusive growth through science, technology, and innovation. Davao Region, with its four provinces and Davao City, is truly fortunate and blessed to be the recipients of state-of-the-art technology for weather monitoring that will also be bolstered by dynamic programs such as the Project NOAA and Dream Leader, both of which will be presented later in this event. These initiatives provide substantial assistance to our LGUs, but more importantly to our communities, to enable them to be resilient, be more proactive, and adaptive to climate change, all the while capacitating them to mitigate the potential repercussions of natural and man-made disasters. This pivotal occasion will showcase what the DOST has been doing and what it still plans to do to help all Davaoenos and contribute to Davao region's development. Hence, I call upon all our local government units, private sector, academe, and government agencies to take full advantage of these technologies and the informative results of the DOST's programs and be active partners of the RDC-11 and the DOST in building community resiliency, adapting to climate change, and promoting science, technology, and innovation. Again, I congratulate the DOST, the DOST 11, and of course the Regional Development Council 11 for accelerating Davao Region's drive towards inclusive growth and progress through science, technology, and innovation. Thank you. And now let's go to, do we have, let's now proceed to, let's now go to the business. Welcome remarks by Mayor Rudy Duterte, represented by Tony Agustin.
It's not working. It's okay na. Honorable Rodolfo Del Rosario, Secretary Mario Montejo, Director Mario Lourdes D. Lim, Acting Secretary May Esther Guillamadel, Vice Governor Manuel Zamora, heads of the different agencies, ladies and gentlemen, a very pleasant good morning to all. It is great pleasure to be with you all today on behalf of our Mayor, Rodrigo R. Duterte. Allow me to share with you his message this morning. First and foremost, the city government would like to congratulate the Department of Science and Technology for successfully installing hydrometeorological sensors in the region. We would also like to give our sincerest gratitude to the department for the sensors in Baguio District, Mintal, Tamugan, Suwawan, Kalinan, and Lacson, to name a few. And to everyone attending this ceremony this morning, welcome to Davao City. May the turnover of these sensors provide everyone with a deeper insight into the role our organizations take part and play to ensure and enable us to carry out our mission with much dedication in assisting people, especially those who need help the most during disasters. We all know that the welfare and safety of the people is a collective matter that must be addressed on multiple levels. And various sectors are coming together to ensure that everyone is given the same degree of protection. I would like to note also that the onset of digital technology has opened new gateways for methods of knowing and getting the needed information. These sensors have given us the proper authorities and right agencies what we need to know. Our commitment to use technology as a vehicle for awareness and public consciousness has indeed made life easier for many of our constituents, especially in places most often hit by floods. Again, we would like to thank DOST for this program. Lastly, let me remind everyone present here today to remain dutiful servants of our fellow Filipinos and always uphold their welfare in all our endeavors with integrity, compassion, and service as we continue to tread our righteous path, hopefully towards a safer, secure, and protected future. I wish you an insightful and productive gathering again. Welcome to Davao City. Mabuhay kayong lahat. Rodrigo R. Duterte, City Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony Agustin. Let us now proceed to our agenda, the proposed business agenda, which would require approval. I think you have your copy. So under letter B, our business agenda includes, among others, presentation of DOST programs and projects uh, after the introduction of our guest of honor by Mr. Asek Raymond Liboro. The item 3, presentation of DOST programs and projects by Honorable Mario Monteo. Item 4, presentation of output project NOAA and presentation of output stream leader project by Ms. Luis Briones and Engineer Maria Rosario Concepcion. Item 6, presentation of PSSCC project, open forum, and then more signing, ceremonial turnover. So any Any comment? Yes.
Mr. Chair, I move for the approval of the proposed business agenda.
It has been moved for the approval of the business agenda and properly seconded. No objection. There being none, the proposed agenda is hereby approved. So let us now proceed to item 2, introduction of our guest of honor by ASEC Raymond E. Liboro.
Honorable Chair, ladies and gentlemen, to present the programs of the Department of Science and Technology upang ihatid ng magandang balita ng siyensya at teknolohiya para po sa taong bayan ng Region 11 at lahat po ng Davaoenyo. Kinagagalak ko pong ipakilala ang kalihim po ng Department of Science and Technology, Secretary Mayo G. Montejo.
Thank you. Honorable Rodolfo Del Saro, Chairperson of RDC 11. Director Maria Lourdes Lim, Chairperson of RDC 11. Vice Chairperson, General Villaroman, our host. Attorney Agustin, representing the Mayor. Honorable Manuel Zamora, Vice Governor of Compostela Valley. All the other officials of LGUs, heads of different agencies, magandang umaga po. Okay. Siguro all of us present here in this room would agree on the vital role of science, technology, and innovation in the development of our beloved country and in addressing the needs and concerns of our people. Science, technology, and innovation, as mentioned earlier, are global assets and key drivers of economic and social progress and welfare of mankind. This important role is enshrined in no less than our Constitution, which states that science and technology are essential for national development and progress. It shall support indigenous, appropriate, and self-reliant scientific and technological capabilities and their application to the country's productive system and national life. Our President, His Excellency Benigno Simeon Aquino III, expounded on this further when he said that innovation is the engine of any modern economy, and this will not happen overnight. But if we put a premium on innovation, in dreaming bigger, doing better, and always reaching farther with Filipino talents, then it will be only a matter of time until the Philippines gets there. Kami po sa Department of Science and Technology, as a steward of the Philippine Innovation System, spearheads implementation of a harmonized science and technology agenda that is anchored to fundamental principle of achieving technological self-reliance. The strategy is to build up local know-how, set up cutting-edge facilities, and harmonize target R&D outcomes to achieve a truly effective and responsive national S&T agenda. The agenda veers from the traditional academic pursuits to bring science, technology, and innovation to directly address societal needs, the needs of Mang Juan and Aling Maria. The approach of technological gains in number of priority sectors, such as disaster risk reduction, agriculture, and health, among others. The DOST program to address disaster risk reduction, namely the Nationwide Operational Assessment of Hazard, or NOAA, which will be presented later, and Disaster Risk and Exposure Assessment for Mitigation, or DREAM, illustrate the advantages and benefits of this technological self-reliance approach. By focusing on building our own know-how with assistant sub-partners, providing cutting-edge facilities, and harnessing the synergy and convergence of multiple technology, we realize technological self-reliance in developing and implementing an effective flood early warning system, or EWS, for communities along the 18 major river systems in the Philippines in just a little more than 2 years. This is a big leap compared to the 40 years it took the country to undertake a similar project for just 5 river systems that incidentally were all done by foreign donor institutions. Even more importantly, the total cost of our early warning system covering the 18 major river system cost much less as compared to what was spent on the previous project covering only 5 river systems. By doing it ourselves, our cost for LiDAR mapping, which is the most advanced mapping technology, which is a major component of the program, is only 25% compared to the prevailing international cost. $78 per square kilometers compared to the current international cost of a little more than $300 per square kilometer. Again, by using radar sensors, wherein some of them already installed in Davao, that were locally developed by our R&D Institute, the USD Advanced Science Technology Institute, instead of imported ones, we realized almost 75% savings, meaning the cost of our locally developed sensor is only one-fourth equivalent to the imported unit ones. Even more important, the know-how and expertise gained from the DREAM project translated in boosting the confidence of our local engineers and scientists. The team is now committed to expanding the early warning system to cover all the remaining 285 river systems in the Philippines by June 2016. These targets would be very difficult to imagine if we keep on following the traditional way of depending on foreign entities. The DREAM project gained international recognition in 2014 by the World Geospatial Forum for Excellence in Geneva, Switzerland, for excellence in policy implementation, for relying on local talents in implementing the program, providing successful model and a template for other governments and countries to follow. This clearly shows the benefit that can be derived from building technological self-reliance and using local talents in science technology in addressing our needs. To simplify lang, what is technology self-reliance? It is relying more on ourselves than on others in addressing our own problems and in using science and technology to be able to do it. Last night, Director Tony was asking me, ano ba ibang gamit of the LiDAR? Because of this technology step learn, because we're building our own know-how, there are many derivatives that can, products or output that come out of this set of data, the tools that were developed, including master planning, drainage system for big agricultural plantation, in assisting in designing irrigation systems. Since we are able to develop flood modeling, we can also be able to simulate solutions. This can help our engineers in designing drainage systems. In Manila, we have started, siguro 2 years ago, ang problema ng Manila is not only flood from the river system, but localized flood. Localized, mga flash floods, which interrupted traffic. Nag-stall in Metro Manila before. But now, because of using LiDAR, they're able to develop flood modeling wherein we will be able to have an early warning mga 2 to 3 hours pag in-overlay natin ang weather information, we can have a 2 to 3 hours early warning for flash floods internal, meaning in urban areas. Now, again, because this can be modeled, we will know also how much drainage, the drainage requirement, again, to help our drainage engineers to be able to design drainage system effective system. These are the derivatives because we develop our own know-how. And incidentally, we have involved UP Mindanao and maybe 7 other SUC in Mindanao. We expanded yung those involved in this project. It's not only UP Diliman, but it involves maybe 15 other SUC throughout the Philippines. As mentioned kanina, democratize know-how, capacity building down to the ground. We have expanded the technology self-reliance approach to other priority areas, identified as strategic and critical for national development. To get there requires a systematic approach with a corresponding build-up of our national S&T infrastructure implemented harmoniously. The national S&T infrastructure will be composed of critical and strategic technologies and the corresponding advanced facilities for scientists and engineers to explore further application and synergies of project. As I mentioned kanina, further application. Consultation with SNE stakeholder, we have identified these critical and strategic technologies to include advanced mapping technology, genomics, nanotechnology, biotechnology, big data analytics, advanced manufacturing technologies, and information and communication technologies, among others. We have already established the necessary advanced S&T facilities and infrastructure to support the development of this technology to make possible a wide range of innovative solutions to pressing national problems through a multidisciplinary convergence of technologies approach. For example, in agriculture, the individual application of technologies including genomics, biotechnology, remote sensing, mechanization, LiDAR, metrology, and even electronic sensor, lahat po ito nakakatulong to improving yield and productivity at our production stages. However, when applied in tandem or converge the above technologies naturally form synergies that amplify the total impact to make the potential improvement more significant. With a proper and sustained support, the national S&T infrastructure can catalyze a positive reinforcing cycle that will result in a self-sustaining, innovation-generating S&T ecosystem, a technological, self-reliant country, and in turn cause an exponential expansion of know-how, development of new products, and increase in productivity that are crucial to drive growth and competitiveness, which can contribute to the attainment of our aspiration of a science-based country. Major components of our national S infrastructure that support an innovation-enabling ecosystem include state-of-the-art facilities and capability that would enable local industries to move up the value chain and attain global competitiveness. We support the DTI's revival of the manufacturing industry by investing in R&D and facilities that will enhance our competitiveness in mining, food processing, automotive parts, chemicals, textile and garments, furniture and semicon, and electronics. For example po, in support of the semicon industry, our number one effort, the DOST established the Advanced Device Material Testing Laboratory or ADMATEL in December 2012. ADMATEL houses advanced equipment for failure analysis and material characterization that before were available only abroad. I am pleased to report that the industry has appreciated the effort shown by this year 100% increase in the number of companies that are availing of these services, which continues to grow each day. Another component of our national S infrastructures is our testing and metrology facilities. New product line need a high level of quality assurance to be able to compete in the global market. With ASEAN economic integration just around the corner, products need to comply with various standards and certification. This is where testing and metrology facility play a big role. Sa amin lang po sa DOST, we have 23 testing laboratories catering to the needs of various industries throughout the country. To harmonize and integrate these various facilities and laboratories, we have developed the One Lab project. Hopefully, director can make a short presentation later about the One Lab project. The One Lab project is intended to harmonize and integrate DOST laboratories testing facilities, thus eliminating the need of the SMAE to shuttle from one laboratory to another to complete the laboratory testing equipment. Ang ibig lang po sabihin ay if you go to the laboratory in Region 11, we will make available all other laboratories ng buong DOST po. Dadali nila po doon ang sample, the One Lab system ay bahala siya magdala doon sa ano bang available if they don't have that kind of service. So, One Lab mean 23 laboratories. Initial po yun, and eventually we'd like to expand it further to other SUC. So, One Lab meaning one stop. Yes. So even if yung laboratory po ay available sa Metro Manila, it will be made available anywhere in Mindanao. And eventually like to also to have siguro relation with even foreign laboratories. So one lab can even be other laboratories. Another major component of our national SNT infrastructure is innovative and cost-effective appropriate technologies and facilities that enable the MSME to develop and produce competitive product that meets world-class standards. Kami po sa DOST naniniwala that competitive MMSE contribute to local economy, vocational economic activity. We have the Small Enterprise Technology Upgrading Program, which is a nationwide strategy to encourage and assist MSME to adapt technology innovation, improve their productivity, and develop new products. To encourage MSME to be more innovative, we are setting up Food Innovation Center in all the region, including Davao, which we have set up few months ago. Where the latest equipment and technical assistance for development of new products as well as diversification of existing food products are made available. Among the equipment in the center are water retort, vacuum fryer, freeze dryer, vacuum concentrator, among others, which are all locally developed. Dinocalize po natin to. All the equipment before ay available only from abroad. And since we have localized it, it costs at least 1/2%, 1/2 lang ng equivalent or even 1/3. The whole rationale po nito ay we look at Thailand. Many look at Thailand as the source of many food products. Thailand and the Philippines are very, very similar in terms of raw material. The only difference, and we have more creative people. Mas magaling po mag-isip ang Pilipino po. Ang kulang lang po ay tools, technology. So, tinignan po namin what is available in Thailand. Ito po ang mga available to the SMAE. Ito mga vacuum fryer, itong freeze dryer. So, we are making this available. Tapos, if and when they would siguro decide to proceed to commercial produce it, the equipment would cost less than what yun ang aming benchmark. It should cost at least equal or less than what is available in Thailand. And we are very gratified by the positive response po dito sa Davao. Talaga po, the energy, the creative energy is there. I mean, who can imagine that they're exploring the possibility of processing cocoa water into powder? I mean, it just shows talagang the imagination, and it's really very possible because they have the spray dryer, they have the spray dryer technology. It can be explored, and the list is mahaba. The areas that they're exploring because of this availability of this equipment and this technology, and also pinapakita lang po rito ang ganda ng collaboration. We'll talk about the LGU, the SUC, which is women's, DTI, and food processing, the industry pala, the industry. And because of this collaboration, in a very short time, talagang marami na nangyayari. And nag-abang nga sila ng freeze drying namin because gusto natin i-freeze dry ang durian. Okay.
Freeze dry,
Yes. That's very, very available po sa Thailand. Sa Thailand. Ano daw it melts in your mouth. Another form of innovation center po namin is to encourage yung ating mga electronics engineers to develop electronic devices. We have established a Philippine Electronics Product Development Center, and hopefully within the middle of this year it will be made operational. These electronic devices would include the weather sensors that we have developed, but this will even further makakatulong po sa other devices, including sensors, PLCs, and others. We have also Innovation Center for Equipment Development and also for health products. Although we have identified the critical and scientific technologies that we should develop on our own expertise, I would like to elaborate on ICT, or Information Communication Technology, especially since IT is one of our agency. Ang ICT po is transformative technology which has broad application. It is a pillar that will change and improve the way we do things. A very specific example is the IOC here in Davao. It really changed how to deal with security, even in many other. It changes the way we do things, and in so many areas. We are focused on strengthening this pillar by putting in place the foundation on which programs like eHealth can be made possible and reach their full potential. Such foundation are the TB White Space project that addresses connectivity. The TB White Space project seeks to use the wasted empty TV broadcast channels to provide connectivity to more than 80% of our country without connectivity. We envision doing as a first step connectivity for delivering public services. Gusto natin po gamitin ang TBY space to be able to address yung underserved or to areas talaga na walang connectivity. Surprisingly po, the Philippines, we have field tested this in Bohol, the biggest field testing of TB white space technology. We would be wide in Cavite, and also as a town-wide in Pulilan, all of them the biggest field testing of this technology in the world. So we are now leading in this kind of using this technology in addressing connectivity. For 2015 po, under the ICTO budget, meron po tayong free internet for all 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th class municipalities. So it just shows that the government are prioritizing the bottom of the pyramid. Doon po tayo kay Mang Juan. And this UTB white space po can complement po internet, meaningful internet in all public places. Meron po tayong project ng Philippine Open 9 that addresses speed of the internet and integrated government Philippines that will serve as a springboard for a truly interoperable e-government. Yung ICT po it's not only about system infrastructure, it is also about the industry that it makes possible, one of which the Philippines has an inherent advantage to be a global leader. We are talking about the IT, business, process, management services, wherein it's big now in Davao. ATBPM has a direct employment of 1.3 with 520 in the countryside. Key to this, it developed a more host locations to the next wave cities. On another dimension, we're also working through our Stepping Up the Value Chain project to gain leadership in the higher value segments such as healthcare, management services, and even engineering design. Siguro ang pinaka-importante component of this SNT infrastructure are our local scientists and engineers. the training of our human resources for highly specialized jobs, as well as the general S&T. Ito po ang tinutukoy po nito. Part of the key program in having skilled scientists and engineers is having one is our Philippine Science High School system. And our target is to have one Philippine Science High School campus in each of the 16 region 2016. We started po with 9 in 2010, and the 9 was for the past 47 years, or 45 years, the 47 years, and now for the next 6 years, so that 16. Another DOST Human Resource Development Program includes a DOST SEI Scholarship Program for Science and Engineering Research and Development for Technology, Graduate for Engineering, and the Advanced Science and Technology Human Resource Development Program. We're happy to inform po the RDC 11 that yung DOST Scholarship Program ay nag-increase. There was a time when there were only 1,000 po ang ating new freshman DOST scholar. For this year po, nasa 5,000. So that just show the support of the national government po. And aside from increasing the number po, the DOST is committed na magkaroon po na isang scholar bawat LGU. And it is through, and in Region 11 po, isa na lang po. Ang isang munisipyo na lang po, and it is in Sarangani, which is an island, remote island. Pero Director Tony is committed that even that for 2016, siguro in closing, our national R&D agenda can be summarized into developing our own capabilities and know-how, internalizing so that we may fully leverage this across all aspects of our nation undertaking and all the challenges we face. For therein lies, I believe, our aspiration for national competitiveness and more importantly, inclusive growth for Mang Juan and Aling Maria. Before ending po, since 2010, we have started into so many R&D or S&T initiatives. We have asked our scientists to write them down so that it can be shared sa inyo po, pakita po how can it benefit kasi napakaraming areas po. We can start with our nano filter, it's a very low cost nano water filter. We have also we're developing a low cost septic tank, nutritional food, highly nutritional for complementary food for babies, supplements para ma-address yung ating nutritional requirements. We're looking at sensors. We have developing a sensor that can monitor the freshness of our fish. So we have sensors that can monitor the NPK ng soil for better application of fertilizer. Naparami po kaya hindi na sensor. And all of them, nasulat na po, ini-edit na lang po, and we will make it available po sa lahat po para makita po. And nandun naman po yung sino yung mga scientists involved, wherein they can be asked for, and hope, middle of this year, we can make this available. We're talking of 300 po. 300 po na science and technology namin ng mga initiative that most of them are ready for adaptation. Kasi ang aming, we really, paradigm shift po tayo na lahat ng ginagawa po natin ay dapat makatulong. It's not para mailagay sa bookshelves. Kundi dapat makatulong talaga to real problem or real issues or real concerns. Maraming salamat po at mabuhay tayo lahat.
Let's now proceed. I think later on, after all of the presentations, we shall have the open forum. So let's reserve our questions until we are through with all of the presentations. The next one will be the presentation of Output Project NOAA by Ms. Jo Brian Louis Brion.
Hello, good morning. Apologies for the technical delay. So, Honorable Rodolfo Del Rosario, Secretary Mario Montejo, provincial, municipal heads and regional heads of agencies, ASEC Raymond Deboro, and honorable guests, good morning. My name is Joe Briones. I am the representative for DOST Project NOAA. Apologies because Dr. Mahar Lagmay is not able to arrive today, pero I will be explaining to you what our project does and how it could help Region 11. So before we start, I'd like to share a quote from Secretary Montejo during the Asia-Europe Meeting Conference on Disaster Risk Reduction Management and Climate Change Adaptation. Because I think this quote actually represents why there is a need for Project NOAA to exist. So advanced information on impending disasters derived through the application of science and cutting-edge technologies enables vigilant local governments and the public to take early action and in turn save lives. So sinabi po ito ni Secretary Montejo kasi we believe not only in the resiliency of the Filipinos, but also we believe that the more important value that we should instill in everyone is the value of preparedness and awareness so we could save more lives.
So what is Project NOAA? It is a nationwide disaster management program that aims to improve the government and Filipino people's capacity to respond against the impact and effect of extreme weather conditions. So we are composed majority of young researchers, engineers, and scientists like myself, and I'll be sharing to you yung outputs po namin. So the project was conceived as DOST's response to President Aquino's directive to put in place a responsive disaster prevention and mitigation program. So it was mandated by the government to develop flood mitigation system. Ang sinabi po sa amin is to create a 6-hour flood warning system for communities living along 18 major river basins. So in short, 6 hours before a potential flood can strike an area, kaya na po naming ipakita kung aling areas ang matatamaan at kung gaano po kataas ang baha na pwedeng mangyari sa mga lugar na yon. Enhancement of geohazard maps. So currently we are working on landslide hazard maps, storm surge hazard maps, and river flood hazard maps. And yun, the enhancement of storm surge vulnerability maps. So just to show how important this project is, this animation is shows all the storm tracks that passed through the Philippines since 1951. So nasa 1960s pa lang po tayo, medyo natakpan na po yung buong Pilipinas. And kahit even if Mindanao is still visible, nadadaanan pa rin po siya ng mga multiple storms po. So hindi ko na siya tatapusin kasi matatakpan po talaga yung buong Pilipinas ng storm tracks. How do we do this? How do we accomplish the mandates by the president? Until 2012 po ito. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Ayan. Okay, so how do we do this? We use advanced disaster science research. So ito po, these are some of the outputs that we have been showing mostly on our website, which I will show you later. Ito po, this is Doppler radar. Nagpapakita po siya ng mga cloud formations that pass through the Philippines. So kapag pink or red po yung kulay ng cloud sa Doppler radar, it means mas marami po yung tubig na dinadala ng mga ulap. So ito po, kahit hindi pa po bumabagsak yung ulan, alam na po natin kung gaano karami yung rain na pwedeng bumagsak sa area na yun that would contribute to flooding. Ito naman, this is an example of a near real-time flood map, which I think Dream LiDAR will be explaining later. And this one is an example of a static hazard map. So it shows aling areas ang may high hazard, medium hazard, and low hazard. So in high hazard, it not only considers the depth of the flood, but also the velocity of the water. At the same time, yung population density po. So red areas indicate mabilis na baha, malalim na baha, maraming tao, and structures na pwede pong ma-affect ng flood. So we use a multidisciplinary assessment of hazards. We're actually composed of civil engineers, physics majors, GIS, geologists. So iba't ibang talents po from young scientists and researchers. We create these maps and we present them to the public in a more accessible manner. We develop accessible tools that enable the prevention and mitigation of hazards. And these tools can be used by LGUs, planners, policymakers, communities, individuals, and families. So these are the different components of Project NOAA. Basically po kasi we focus on the factors that kill. So it sounds very grim, but yes, we focus on the factors that kill. Na-identify po namin siya sa strong winds, rain-induced landslides, river flooding, and yung floods due to storm surges sa coastal areas. So we have HydroNet sensors, Dream LiDAR project, FloodNet, disaster management using WebGIS. This is the more visualization tool siya. Landslide and geohazards, weather information integration system enhancement or WISE, so weather prediction, storm surge inundation mapping, and Doppler system. So I am from the disaster management using WebGIS, and we are in charge of a lot of things, but mostly the website and the visualization tools. So this is an example of the website. I hope nakikita niyo siya. Nagpapakita po siya ng mga real-time hazards, real-time information, weather information, and also the hazard maps that we have uploaded on the website. I will explain the website later on po. So aside from the website, mayroon din po kaming blog. This blog contains a lot of information. Kasali na po dito yung nire-release namin na storm surge list. Every time po na may bagyo, nag-upload po kami ng list of storm surge of areas na pwede pong ma-affect ng storm surge. Pati na rin po yung height ng storm surge na dadaan po sa area na yon. So this blog also contains news and articles about Project NOAA and our outputs. Mobile applications. So the mobile applications are a more effective way to present these data in bite-sized information. I will show them to you later on as well. So we also do coordination with DOST, other DOST projects, NDRMC, and DALG. So I think this is an example ng Project NOAA na ginamit ng OCD. Makikita niyo po dito. It shows the typhoon track of a storm. LGUs. We also coordinate with LGUs, and LGUs have also been using our outputs for their disaster management projects. So an example of a community that has been using our outputs is Marikina City, which is one of the most vulnerable areas in the Philippines to floods. So this is their command center. Kung makikita niyo po dito, they have different tools. One of them is Project NOAA. And we also take advantage of social media. So we use Facebook and Twitter. I think if you're not yet subscribed to us, you could like our posts. Kasi po dito namin pinapakita yung screenshots ng website namin almost every hour po. Kapag may bagyo, naglalagay po kami ng updates. And at the same time, we also translate the Pag-asa weather bulletins into local languages po. So sometimes we translate it into Cebuano, Hiligaynon. We also have translated it in Bicol and Ilocano. So depende po kung saan po dadaan yung bagyo. We try to make the information from Pag-asa more accessible to the public. So other mediums po na ginagamit namin, we also use tri-media, radio, TV, and print. This is an example, Secretary Montejo being interviewed by ANC sa may bagyo po nung time ito. We also use other information bearers. So for example po, si Ann Curtis Smith tsaka si Kuya Kim, nagre-retweet din po sila ng updates from Project NOAA. Kasi po, there are some of the Philippine Twitter accounts na most followed by our countrymen po. And shares and retweets by Facebook and Twitter. So ayan. So through these mediums, kaya namin i-present ang information to affected communities, families, and individuals. And at the same time, kumukuha din kami ng information sa kanila because we also do fieldwork validations ng mga hazard maps namin. So we visit the areas kung saan nakagawa na kami ng hazard maps. We interview local people para i-validate kung tama po yung depth and yung extent ng mga baha and yung landslides na ginawa po namin sa mga maps. Ayan. So an example of our outputs, gumagawa po kami ng inventory ng landslides. Based on our findings, one of the top 10 provinces po in terms of landslides, ang Compostela Valley. We were able to put in our inventory na there are 1,876 landslide-prone areas in Compostela Valley alone. So isang visualization po, this is This is a debris flow map. So, yung red areas, ito po yung debris galing sa barangay Andap. May posibilidad po na bumaba yung debris galing sa barangay Andap papunta sa New Bataan. So, those are some of the maps that we use for landslide. We not only indicate kung yung mga areas ang pwedeng gumuho, but also yung mga areas na pwedeng puntahan ng mga gumuhong bato and ng lupa. So visualization lang ng landslide. This is an example of a landslide na umabot ng 7.5 to 9 meters deep na landslide. So just to show you kung gaano kalalim ito, this is a person, 1.5 meters yung height, mga same height as me, 5 point something inches, 5 feet. So ganito kalalim yung debris flow. And a visualization kung gaano kalalaki yung mga bato na pwedeng madala ng landslide. Ito yung tao, ito yung bato. So we make maps so that we could show which areas have those kinds of potential to rain-induced landslides. So this is an example of a hazard map, a landslide hazard map for Compostela Valley. The yellow areas indicate kung saan pwedeng bumagsak yung mga bato, and the red areas indicate yung origin ng landslides. So, a much more closer look. This is for New Bataan in Compostela Valley. Red areas indicate a no-build zone. Ibig sabihin, very dangerous areas ang mga ito for landslides. Orange areas indicates for slope protection and continuous monitoring. And then yellow naman for continuous monitoring siya. So kung makikita nyo, may mga areas naman dito na safe siya, relatively safe for landslides. And sa ngayon po, sa pag-validate po namin ng hazard map for landslides, for Compostela Valley, we were able to validate 95%. So that is 1,702 out of 1,789 landslide-prone areas. So all of these maps are available on the website of Project NOAA, which I will explain. This area, you could select kung anong klaseng data ang gusto nyong i-view. Meron po kaming real-time weather data. For example, if you want to check MTSat data, which is satellite data, pwede niyo po siyang i-click, and then makikita niyo yung cloud formations based sa satellite data. So this one, for example, for Tropical Storm Senyang, this is a screenshot of the said satellite image. Pwede niyo yung i-view yung pag-asa track kapag may bagyo, so that you could be able to visualize the actual position of the storm and the forecasted position po ng bagyo. So this is near real-time data that you could access on the website. So nandito rin po yung hazard maps. Pwede nyo i-click ang flood, and then you could select kung aling area ang gusto nyo tignan ang may hazard maps. So this is an example of a hazard map for Davao City, yes. So the red areas indicate a high hazard. May legend po tayo dito sa gilid which indicates the average height of a Filipino. Si Manny Pacquiao po yan. Apparently, average height po siya ng Pilipino. So he's not only a legend, legend din siya sa Project NOAA website. So high hazard, galing ulo, galing leeg, upwards, yung baha. Medium hazard, bewang hanggang leeg, and then low hazard, hanggang tuhod po. So the red areas indicate a high hazard for flood for Davao City. So these maps are accessible through the website. Pwede niyo po siyang i-zoom in, pwede niyo siyang i-pan left and right. And also these maps are localized. So up to the barangay level po, makikita po natin yung potential for flood hazards. We also have maps we also have sensors. So, lahat po ng sensors ng DOST po nating tignan through the Project NOAA website. near real-time din po yung information nito. You could see the water levels for the river sensors. Meron din po tayong tide gauges. All of them accessible po siya on this panel. So yan, for example, if i-click nyo ang isang sensor for Ising, Carmen, Davao del Norte, you could see yung rainfall, amount of rainfall in the past 1 hour. You have pressure, humidity, and temperature. And also yung mga tide data at river data po. Again, this is near real-time information. Ayan, like what I've shown you kanina, this is a hazard map for Davao City. So, kung titignan niyo sa mapa, these areas in Davao City, they're prone to landslides. We also have storm surge hazard maps. Currently, wala pa po kaming storm surge maps for Region 11, but this is for, this is for Tacloban City. So, ito po sa mapa, ito po yung airport nila, ito po yung nawasak ng Yolanda. Validated na rin po yung maps na ito. And then we have WebSafe. So WebSafe is a risk assessment tool in partnership with World Bank and INASAFE. So makikita po natin dito kung alin ang, it calculates the risk of an area in case of a hazard. So for example, if you want to check alin mga areas in Tacloban will be flooded in the event of a flood, it can calculate it to show you that you have, for example, in this area sa Tacloban City, you have 18 buildings that need evacuation. And then, because of that, you have these numbers to show you anong klaseng mga buildings ang pwedeng ma-affect ng mga hazards that will hit that area. Also, in terms of human risk naman, pwede din niyang i-calculate ang mga to. In this case, we're using the city of Manila as an example. It can calculate that in the event of a flood, there will be more than 1 million people that will be affected in the city of Manila. And this translates into 3 million kilos of rice and how many liters of water. So, this is a tool na pwedeng gamitin ng mga LGUs to assess kung gaano karami ang kailangan nilang i-prepare na relief goods and kung sino-sino ang pwedeng bigyan ng mga relief goods na to. So, this is localized. As of now, wala pa po tayong information for Davao City and for Region 11, but we are currently coordinating with the LGUs to get the population data po for WebSafe. Aside from the website, we have mobile applications na pwedeng i-download sa mga cellphones and tablets. So we have the NOAA application, ARCO is the hazard map application, Rain Check PH, which tells you the % chance of rain in the next 4 hours, and Flood Patrol. So Flood Patrol, it's a crowdsourcing application kung saan pwede kayong mag-report ng flood in your area para alam namin na at this given point in time, meron pong nangyayaring baha, let's say for example, sa Davao City, at this barangay. So these are what the applications look like. Yung NOAA for Android, meron din po for iOS. So if you have an iPhone, you could download this as well. It shows you all of the weather data, all the real-time weather data. So you have typhoon track, satellite data, Doppler, % chance of rain, and also may mga updates from DOST Pag-asa as well. So we curate the tweets and the weather reports of Pag-asa and we show it on the website and the mobile applications. Ito naman, ARCO, parehas lang to dun sa website kung saan napapakita yung mga hazard maps for the various kinds of hazards. And this is Rain Check, which shows you weather updates and the % chance of rain, and Flood Patrol. So these are the important websites that you should check. Yung pinakita ko po sa inyo kanina was the beta version of our website, beta.noaa.dost.gov.ph. Pero lahat ng data na yun, i-migrate na po namin siya sa main website, which is noaa.dost.gov.ph. So within within the month po, magiging updated na po yung NOAA website. So all of the hazard maps, all of the web safe data will be there on the main website. And you could check our posts sa blog.noaa.usd.gov.ph. Tapos para po sa may mga Facebook, we're also on facebook.com/DOST-NOAA. And you could email us naman for possible collaborations and for information exchange as well sa info@noaa.usd.gov.ph. So if you have any questions, siguro mamaya na lang po sa open forum. I'll be glad to answer them. Thank you so much. Yan. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Briones. Next item is the presentation of output DREAM LiDAR project by Engineer Maria Rosario Concepcion.
Yes. Honorable Chair, si Engineer Angho couldn't make it because of a personal emergency. So I will be presenting the output of the DREAM program, no, ladies and gentlemen. So I'd like to I'll make this very brief. Siguro, coming off the presentation of NOAA, ang objective po talaga namin dito, while we make it centrally, is really how do we transfer all these technologies to the ground, no? I mean, localizing it. So we believe that it's very, very relevant, especially in the light of IOC's presence here in Davao. No? So makita nyo na po kung ano yung pwede nating magawa, no? Here in the IOC. So, but really the one big engine powering ito pong ating project, no, is a technology called LiDAR. No? Ito po yung masasabi nating pinaka lifeblood or nerve center, if you may call it, ng buong approach na ito. This is fine elevation or fine scaled elevation data or highly detailed topographic mapping that we are doing. So we call it the Disaster Risk and Exposure Assessment for Mitigation Program. This is one component of Project NOAA. Basically, what we do here is we make fine detailed topographic maps that can be done into 3D scale, that can be used for simulation and modeling. So for us to be able to forecast floods or predict floods, we've got to know how the contour, paano ho yung hulma ng lupa, will react, no, to the amount of rain that falls. No? So next slide, E. This is the, all right. So let me just yun hong the Philippines being number 3 in the world in terms of risk is, alam na po nating lahat yan. We really in the world, nasa Pacific Ring of Fire po tayo. How do you click nito? Sorry. Alright. Basically, isa pong tagubilin ng ating Pangulo po to enhance yung ating existing geohazard maps. No? So, currently, we have yung mga maps po natin na available, ay yun ho yung ini-enhance natin through this project. No? Yung LiDAR po is capable of producing maps down to 1:5,000 scale. Alright? And accordingly, 1:5,000 scale can translate to 1:5,000 accuracy in terms of simulation and modeling. No? So yun din po yung nag-generate niya. Alright. Eric, can you just help me with this? Ano? Pwede bang ano na lang? Click. Okay. Alright. Yung Dream LiDAR po, the phase 1 covers po 100,000 square kilometers to cover the 18 major river basins. No? But we have already started the Field LiDAR 2 project, which will now cover well, above 100,000 square kilometers, meaning from the 18 major river basins po, we are set to cover more than 285 more rivers. Ito yung mga tributaries leading to this river. So, ito po yung concept ng light detection and ranging. We have apparatus na naka-attach sa ilalim ng aeroplano, and it basically scans the landscape. So parang binuburdahan niya ng laser light yung pong mga yung lupa, and it produces po yung parang concept lang ho ng mapping natin sa ano, no, pag nag-scan ka ng ano sa computer, para pong ganun, pero ini-scan mo yung buong kalupaan. So pag lumabas po yan, Ayan po. So, yan po yung mga eroplano na sinasak. So, as we speak ho ngayon, patuloy po ang paglipad po ngayon. Yan po yung malalaking mga equipment na kinakabit po doon, no? So, yun po yung mga scientists po natin matsatsaga. Kailangan ho less than 5 feet ho yung scientist na sinasakay ho namin dyan. Dahil hindi ho magkakasya pag mas matangkad pa doon. Sa sobrang lalaki rin po ng equipment. Pero, buwis buhay ho yung mga scientists natin who ride these planes. They ride an average of 6 hours a day, 6 to 8 hours a day. Flight weather permitting, just to scan it. They fly at around 3,000 feet and they scan ho the landscape. So, yan po. Yun nga sinasabi ko sa inyo. Si Sec Montejo, hindi sumasakay. Mas matangkad doon si Sec Montejo dyan. Hindi siya kasya dun sa aeroplano. Alright. So, ano po napoproduce po niya? These are, again, finely detailed maps. Hindi naman po yun yung ability niya, no? It can actually take out, dahil digitized na po siya, it can actually take out po yung mga trees, yung mga bahay, yung mga structures on top of the land, no? So you can see bare earth. When you see bare earth, you know, ito na po yung mga products that you can use for your planning. Alright? Ito na po yung nagagamit, kailangan nyo for your engineering works, no? Engineering details that you would need. So, ito yung capability ng technology na ito. Okay, bukod ho sa aeroplano, meron ho kaming ginagamit sa ground. No? To validate po, yan ho yung tumatakbo sa mga ilog. Kinukuha naman po niya yung lalim ng ilog, pati ho yung gilid po ng ilog. No? Bathymetric measurement po yan. So LiDAR din po yan na nasa gilid naman po at nakatuntong ho dyan sa mga rubber boats. Alright, so hindi ho biro rin ho yan. We have actually almost 200 scientists employed dito po sa ating project. No? Very young engineers like Joe, recent graduates, sumasabak ho sila ngayon dyan. Again, to produce all this, ito po mga fine, they call discharge models, hydraulic models. So, again, if you will see ho yung mangyayari, from Doppler, you would have an indication gaano karaming ulan. Pag lumapit na ho yung, nahulog na yung ulan, our rain gauges starts to compute how much actual rain is falling. It feeds off into the system. It feeds off dun ho sa aming flood simulation models based on DreamLider kasi alam na ho namin yung hulma ng ilog, gaano ho yung capacity niya, and then we start to churn numbers and compute and come up with warnings. So, ganun po yung kanyang. Eric, pwede bang patakbuhin ito? Okay, this is a visualization of flood hazard map in 3 dimension, in 3D. I don't know kung medyo hindi tumatakbo yung animation. Hindi makatakbo. So sayang po. But this is 3-dimensional. Since it's all now in digital, we can actually make an animation of the flood simulation. Ano extent na po pwede pong umabot na baha here in Davao region, for example. All right. So what's the purpose of all this? No, we really want to come up with the micro scale forecasts, no, in terms of flood. Kasi nga po ganun na ka-detailed yung ating mga models, and so we can issue, for example, flood advisories down to community scale. No? Right now, municipal, and soon even barangay, even sa barangay level po. No? Actually, if you zoom in there, kita na ho talaga mga bubong ng mga bahay. No? So this is very, very important when it comes to planning. No? Sometimes so you cannot imagine things when the scale is too macro. Diba? Pero pag yung bahay mo, nakikita mo na yung bubong, pag sinabi mo sa taong maaari kang bahain dyan, maniniwala siya. Pero yung malalaking mapa, sabihin mo lumikas ka dyan, baka hindi pa niya makita eh. Dito talaga makikita po niya at huwag na niyang hintayin na dumating pa yung tubig. Alright, so the purpose of all this is to come up with, again, our mission is to provide at least a 6-hour early warning for floods. Yung po talagang tagubilin ng ating si Presidente. No? Yung nangyari sa Sendong, wag na mangyari muli. At ito po nga po yung ito na po yung ating proyekto in Lunsad. So there's an automated water level forecast. This can all be viewed in the website of DREAM. Now, what we want here now is to transfer, or probably the IOC Davao can start mirroring ito pong ating integrated flood early warning system. Okay, so yun yung purpose din natin dito. No? So that can all be explored. Later on, probably from IOC, even all provinces can have their own. These are not ano po, hindi naman ho ito, you don't have to really to build a huge IOC for this. Could be one decent internet connection, but we have already one Connect project that will connect third, fourth, fifth class municipalities. So all this, in just a matter of months, I think, can now all be viewed, sir, in real time and instantaneously. So yun po, no? So this is what we do in Dream is we do again rapid flood simulation for flood events. What you see on the right is a simulation. Tama, hindi ko na humalaman kung sino dyan ang simulation. But isa ho dyan, ang simulation, isa yung totoong nangyari. Ganun ho kalapit yung aming modeling na ginagawa. Alright? Yung nasa left po ang simulation, yung nasa right ho ang actual. Alright? So we do simulations so that you can also see the extent of flooding in communities. So ito na po yung ating Field Lidar 2. Again, Field Lidar 1, and we are now expanding the Field Lidar 2. More rivers will be covered, more sensors will be put up. Okay? And again, eventually, lahat po ng komunidad, again, ay magkakaroon na ng sinasabi natin advanced information to save lives and property during or impending times of disaster. So yun po ang kabuuan po ng ating Dream LiDAR program. Salamat po.
Thank you, Asek Liboro. Next item. PS presentation of PSSCC project. Yung regional
Thank you.
Roman.
Thank you, Mr. Honorable Chair. Our Honorable Governor of Davao del Norte and at the same time Chairman of RDC 11. Our Honorable Secretary Mario Monteo, sir. Our Assistant Secretary Raymond Ibor, sir. Other government officials here present. Good morning po. I'm Retired General Francisco Villarman, the Head of Public Safety or OIC of Public Safety and Security Command Center. Under me, I have operational control over Central 911, Traffic Management Center, our IBM IOC, Integrated Operations Center, and our civil security units, which secure our public schools in the city, because we have some cases in USA where children are being killed left and right. So our city mayor invested so much in safety and security because according to him, we would have development and progress if we don't have. So we invested so many equipment and facilities like the Central 911. Since 2002, we have this. We have a great, terrorism here. We have a problem of terrorism, insurgency, unlike Metro Manila or in Luzon. So we have to double our facilities against terrorism. So I have to present to you our situation briefing, which later on I will explain. Thank you. Next shot, please.
Every house is secured. Every person safe, and every place a home for everyone.
Welcome to our facility, the Davao City's Public Safety and Security Command Center. It is ambition to have a safe city by using people, information, technology, and intelligent solutions. This is the best solutions we can provide to our people by monitoring the daily lives or activities in the streets of Davao City. We have manifested our desire to all our constituents to give them a safe and a safe community. Welcome to our city and welcome to our facility.
July of 2010 Public Safety Command Center was created to manage and assess public safety in the city of Davao, but because of the imminent threats on the city's security, security was then added to the picture, and so became the Public Safety and Security Command Center through another executive order, specifically EO number 18 series of 2012. The Public Safety and Security Command Center, or PSSCC, was specifically created to provide protection, security, safety, and risk management to the people of Davao. PSSCC prides itself as the first intelligent operations center solution in the world by integrating intelligence into its operational capability to better manage crime and terrorism, traffic, emergency response, and public safety. Not to mention, it has pioneered the implementation of traffic monitoring through a central monitoring system by the use of traffic cameras. In partnership with Abrati K and Associates Incorporated and IBM Philippines, it has utilized technology as tools to better perform its mandate and assist all other line agencies. SSCC operates through a simple manner. It uses coordinated approach to address the different issues on safety and security relative to terrorism, security, traffic, health and social services, and disaster risk reduction. By using information, people, technology, and intelligent solutions, the PSSCC regularly facilitates coordination meetings to address issues that may need attention relative to public safety and security concerns. It also exercises supervision and control of all 600 personnel under the Civil Security Unit who are deployed to public schools, vital installations, disaster operations, and during significant events, as an augmentation to the other line agencies. The PSSCC's CCTV operations is equipped with cutting-edge technology, integrated with other line agencies, and perform endless safety and security monitoring of the city 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. All incidents monitored by the system, ranging from fire, flood, riots, theft, traffic accidents, suspicious circumstances, and the like, are automatically reported to Central 911, who then sends the appropriate responders to the scene of emergency. Under the CCTV Integrated Operations Unit of the PSSCC is the Traffic Operations Center, Intelligent Operations Center, and Technical Support Team. The Traffic Operations Center, or TOC, is equipped with strategically installed 17 long-range traffic cameras with state-of-the-art traffic signalization system, which includes road sensors and smart programmable system. TOC is primarily tasked to monitor the traffic situation, most especially on major intersections or thoroughfares in the city. It constantly coordinates with Traffic Management Center to better manage the traffic flow or any other traffic-related issues in the city. On the other hand, the Intelligent Operations Center is equipped with 173 security cameras strategically installed all over the city. Points of entry such as checkpoints, seaports, airports. And bus terminals are diligently monitored, including public facilities and critical infrastructures. Various road networks which are considered critical are also equipped with security cameras. Aside from the real-time monitoring of the city's security, the IOC system is equipped with technologically advanced system which includes video analytics used for tracking and identifying of people and vehicles, not to mention the IOC's capability to provide data analysis. The IOC system is also equipped with Geographic Information System or GIS map, IOC console, with which is integrated with the central 911 system. Calls taken by the 911 call taker are automatically linked to the IOC console, which is a centralized dashboard view that allows Davao City Police Office, Disaster Operations Center, Task Force Davao, Traffic Management Center, and Central 911 to monitor events and operations in real time, as it also shares all live feeds of multi-channel unified communication or unified edge wave dispatch is at the heart of the IOC's capability to communicate with other line agencies at any given time. Through the live feeds from CCTVs and a unified communication tool, respective departments will be alerted for emergency in specific locations. This now will result in faster response times for the department in charge of the situation. The Public Safety and Security Command Center has developed its own alarm system to improve interoperability within the Integrated Operations Unit, as well as maintain its relentless coordination with the Central 911. It has even utilized the use of social media as a tool to disseminate and reach out to the citizens of Davao. PSSCC has its own traffic update page provided with snapshots to inform the public relative to the city's traffic situation. It also has an interactive page to hear out comments, suggestions, and queries that may be relevant to city's safety and security. Staffed with highly trained personnel and technical team, the PSSCC maintains a constant and up-to-date city risk assessment on criminality, terrorism, and emergencies. Public Safety and Security Command Center has made a remarkable impact in ensuring peace and order and keeping the citizens of Davao City secure. Proving its worth, it has given numerous help to investigations, apprehensions, tracking and identification of people or vehicles, and most importantly in providing situational awareness. The Public Safety and Security Command Center indeed puts into concrete actions the city government's strong commitment to minimize, if not totally suppress, all forms of criminalities, and to lessen, if not totally prevent, possible injuries from violation of the traffic rules and regulations, city ordinances, existing laws, and other common emergencies.
The trouble with us in government is that we talk too much, act too slow, and do too little.
Thank you for watching our presentation, sir. This just to showcase our mandate. Our city mayor constructed this building from the time of Mayor Sara and being now maintained by the current city mayor Rodrigo Duterte. And we have been purchasing millions of pesos of equipment for Central 911 and this in the center. And to tell you that IBM CCTV, rather IBM system alone, cost the city government 168 million pesos to purchase, and another 36 or 34 million for the CCTV, 173 cameras. Aside from that, we're maintaining this building About yung electricity, water, dahil yung air condition namin, bawal po mainit, gaya ngayon. At 24 days, rather 24 hours, 7 days. So, gumagastos po ang city government dito ng almost 200,000 for this power and water aside from the employees. So, this building is the most expensive building in the city except Central Bank. Maraming pera Central Bank. So, any questions, sir, for public safety?
Any question? You're now free to.
If there is none, sir, thank you.
Okay, so we now go to the open forum. This is your turn. So, anyone? Yes, Ms. Bailo.
I'd like to ask a question of the Secretary of the UST. Sir, I am Cora Bailon. I sit as a private sector rep of RDC, representing an environmental NGO. But I really represent all the NGOs in the region and the urban poor. I'd like to particularly ask on the program on renewable energy. For example, I'm saying that solar panel seems to be you know a need for off grid, especially for our communities in the region. May I know what can we look forward to for renewable energy in the region? Another one, sir, is on the biosan filter. One of the things we just uh, want to promote is if there are no good water quality, can we also help commercialize biosan filter and solar panels? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Maybe only, maybe next week. We have an agreement with PNOC Renewable Energy that they're going to install solar panel in our office. Maganda yung deal eh. Deal is that no money out from the agencies. They will install the panel and they'll provide the power. And we are going to use the power at a cost that is 20% from the prevailing. At paano man ang existing? Supposing in Manila, I think it's 1150 at Meralco. So they're going to sell us the power at 950. Pero no cost from us, from the UST. And initial plan is we have looked at two areas. One is 1,000, the other one is 400 square meters. Siguro equivalent power nito I've got to be sure about the figure, but 60 or 70. It just shows that solar energy is here na. It's becoming more viable, not only siguro in the city, but especially in off-grid. It is a viable option. Initial estimate is that yung cost of generating solar panel, we're talking here of yung ideal location. It's around 7 to 750 pesos per kilowatt hour. Pag finactor mo yung first cost and others. Ang DOST naman is into developing, parang tawag natin smart metering, wherein we can use power from solar and also still be connected to the grid. And eventually, maybe if there exists solar, it can pwede mailagay sa grid. Now, regarding other renewables, we are also working with PNOC regarding micro turbine or they have presented to us siguro most probably imported micro turbine. So we're trying to localize it, maybe improve on it. Micro turbine. Maybe it's for, in terms of kilowatts lang yon. It's for surface, river. micro, actually it's micro, random number. Aside from that, of course, we have biomass for renewable. Now, siguro, balik tayo sa renewable, no? Okay, maybe also part of LiDAR mapping and part of our NOVA project is that by determining the river flow, or determine the topo, we will now determine the river flow. We have now a part of NOVA project is climate change, is to be able to have climate change scenarios maybe 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Ano ba ang aasahan natin na ulan in, let's say, Davao? What, tapos ano bang, how this would impact on the river flow in, let's say, Davao? All of these are information for us to be able, for especially those in water sources, to have an idea what is available. I mean, it's not accurate, but it's better than none. But definitely, we'll keep on improving our climate change scenario para lalong maging more accurate siya. So we're talking of 5, 10, 15, 20 years scenario. Again, now yung water flow of the different river system can be now planned, meaning how to utilize them in terms of drinking water, irrigation, power generation. And since alam natin yung flow, we can also give some more inputs or more information for those that would like to avail yung using the hydroelectric. We're not talking here of big, most of them, maybe mini or micro. But fully utilizing the river in terms of energy, in terms of irrigation, in terms of drinking, na related to projection on climate change scenarios. Now, yung climate change scenarios naman under Project NOAA or under DOST, kasi DOST working with Pag-asa, NOAA, and others, keep on improving naman. And yung climate change scenario naman nagiging more site-specific. We're trying to make it river basin specific. So ano ba epekto ng climate change sa future per river basin? And for planning to be based on river basin din. So those are the siguro mga initiatives now na DOST looking for. I mean, we're not looking only now, but even for the next couple of years.
Based on your statement, sir, with due respect, since time immemorial, we have been the receiving end of typhoons, disasters, calamities, man-made or natural. And it's good we have DOST now talking about these facilities or future plans of our government. Like for example, I was in Cagayan Valley 3 years ago when I served there as the regional director. Nakita ko po ang kaibahan sa Mindanao. Doon po, pag panahon ng December hanggang ngayon, sobra ang lamig. Pero pagdating naman ng tag-init, sobrang init at tuyot ang mga lupa. While here in Mindanao, wala po kaming ganon dahil every month po may rain na dumarating sa amin. At iba ang topography ng Mindanao sa Cagayan Valley or Northern Luzon. I'm from Bulacan. Naobserbahan ko rin po yung ating mga irrigation dyan. It was built in 1950s and 60s at wala pong improvement. Not like Singapore where they catch 99% of their water, rainwater, before they're buying their water from Malaysia for 54 years. But now, nalugi ang Malaysia, nanalo ang Singapore dahil hindi nila renew because they were able to catch the water 99%, including the household water, wastewater. Now, bakit po, sa nakita ko presentation kanina, alam na po natin kung saan nagpo yung mga ilog na yan at saka yung nagkakaroon ng landslide, saka saan nanggagaling yung tubig, especially in Davao. nasa bundok po, hindi po sa ilog halos bumabagsak, galing bukid nun yung ulan, kung grabe ang ulan, at na-alert po kami, nakikita po namin dito. And so, ang tanong ko po, meron po bang ah, funds, allocation, para ma-improve po itong ating programs ng government, especially in your coordinating in your coordination with other departments like Department of Agriculture and Public Works. What do we expect here in Davao? Thank you, sir.
Okay. Isasay ko lang yung mga points that you have presented. Actually, we have the same, we look at it very similarly. Siguro kamukha din ng Singapore. Is that we try to compute ilan ba ang bumabaktak na ulan sa Pilipinas? And how much rain ba ang nakaka-capture o nagagamit natin, i-utilize natin? How much rain ang bumabalik lang ulit sa dagat? And to look at it maybe in terms of how to siguro maximize the utilization of the water. We had some initial estimate before. I cannot, parang it's around 700 million cubic meters yata. And nagagamit lang natin mga 150 to 200. So there's still, meron pa talaga. And in some countries talaga, tama yung sinabi nyo kanina, that's almost 90%. And siguro in the United States, mayroon silang malaking ilog doon na almost wala na lalabas to the ocean. Talagang ginagamit lahat. And we are trying to be able to get that information and be used by our, let's say, ang ating water czar kasi si Secretary Babes. And actually, he had requested all our data and information para gamitin niya sa planning niya. And even during there was a summit regarding water management, and they're going to use talaga science-based information. Now, Project NOAA and Project DREAM has been nasa third year. Nasa third year pa lang tayo, and you can just imagine that even on the first year, puro procurement lang yan. So the real action started after the first year. So, but we have, marami naman na nagawa na, and kanina we're presenting that it would include the whole Philippines. Ibig sabihin, pag bumaksak ang ulan, alam natin where it will go, theoretically. And that is where we are going to. So not now, but towards it, definitely. And we're not talking here of decades from now, we're talking here of couple of years lang. So magiging malaking data center yung ating dream and because we will be able to know kung saan pumunta talaga tubig. And for them, tama kayo, other agencies to use this data and information for planning purposes, for future development purposes, definitely including LGUs. So we're looking forward to that stage sana. I hope I have said. Ngayon, regardless, let's go, kasi we're talking only water, no? Including temperature. As you mentioned earlier, including temperature, those are part of the tawag natin climate change scenario. What do you expect 5 years from now? Ano ba ang temperature in, let's say, sabi nyo, Tugigaraw o in Cagayan, in Davao? Ano ba magiging temperature ranges? Ano bang variance from the current weather? So that includes on precipitation, that includes temperature, maybe including humidity. So these are the characterizations siguro or na climate change scenario na will be using supercomputers and the most advanced climate change modeling para to come up with area specific nga. And the government talaga is committed through the DOST. Pero we're talking here of science-based climate change scenario para makuha natin yun and for it to be shared to everybody. Okay. So,
hazards and disasters, meaning 18 major river basins in 100,000 square kilometers. We have already acquired the data. We have flown 106,000 square kilometers as of today. So, admittedly, outside that, marami pong city centers, no? So, pero lahat po, practically lahat po yan mako-cover na in the next years, no? But yung pong siguro ma'am, you have to be very medyo mag-pinpoint tayo. Ano yung areas, for example, you're talking about how to use it for the CLUP, for the comprehensive land use plans of municipalities. Yes, we will start going that as we, again, derive na kung ano yung mga possible products from this data. So, siguro man for specific, if you're, for example, thinking of specific projectizing something, then we can start something, on how to actually use this data for CLUPs, for example. But other local government units have already started. So it's a question yung kanina, DPWH, si Sec Babe Singson has actually summoned all regional directors, and they are actually now going into using LiDAR data as their baseline data. No? So yung pong team ng DREAM, currently we have a working arrangement with DPWH. We are training their engineers. So paano, kasi kailangan namin expand yan, ano? So we have linked up with 15 SUCs para mag-train ng mga engineers doon. Pero yun na, specific sa DPWH, sir, si Sec Babes, meron na ho siyang binuo doon na talagang yung engineers nila are now being mentored, no, by our LiDAR experts. So ganoon na po, ano. So sa HADC, yun ma'am, siguro pag-usapan po na kung ano yung meron. I just cannot tell you ngayon kung nasaan yung mga, but for the 100,000, the data has been acquired. We're processing it again for flooding, but madali na po yan. Susunod na po yung ibang uses na, like integrating it with comprehensive land use plans of municipalities. So yan ho yung mga magagawa niya.
Access this for free, or is it for anyone, for everyone? What's the accessing possibilities? I'm talking again as a private sector NGO who would like to use that data. How do we access?
Yung aming, yeah, okay. Thank you for that question. Very good question. Okay. Definitely for government, it's free. All government agencies, LGUs, all government. Yung aming thinking is that this has been funded by government, and should be the access or even the cost, or even for private, it should be minimal. Kasi government money, it should be everybody, just like mentioned kanina, democratize. I mean, what we are doing, ginastosan to ng gobyerno eh. So dapat para sa tao. But definitely very clear yung for government. For others, baka NGO, baka libre din. Malamang. Okay. Ay, meron konti security reasons din. I mean, there are some restrictions, but data that can help, definitely, we look at it, dapat the access, to even easy access, even highly, basta tingin namin pera to ng gobyerno para sa lahat. Anyway, going back lang to sa siguro yung resource inventory, para bang, I'm not trying to oversimplify, but we will have an inventory of all physical assets, all assets of the country above ground, including number of trees, lahat ng bahay, lahat ng kalsada, irrigation, lahat ng visible above ground, we can have an inventory. Para bang ito na yung ating physical assets, kayamanan ng Pilipinas. Ang malaking tulong from NEDA for planning where we are now. Where we are now. And these are very, very high
Sir,
resolution.
you can
Yes. Makikita. Of course, of course. Yes. Pero ito, those are real tree, when it was taken. Okay. Yes, sir. Identify yourself.
Generating fast, accurate, and timely information. Sir, back to Liza. We have been building the assistance project for our provincial governments in the region. And this is about enhancing the provincial development fiscal framework plans about all our provinces. We also are already in the final stretch, so to speak. Here are the CCA strategies in the local plans. After Pablo, the RBC 11 passed a resolution requesting the LOS to fast track and the presentation of wider maps for all our provinces to be integrated in this enhanced BRI CCA enhanced PGFs. Actually, on March 18 to 20th, two of our provinces will be doing their workshops. The provinces of Davao and Compostela Valley. We hope that different provinces, Oriental and Davao, Sur, to pursue the final enhancements of their respective plans. The other maps definitely these plans would really incorporate all of the scenarios that we will planning at the local level be more realistic. And we consider all of this scientific data. We have definitely the first Honorable Secretary, sir. And we will meet you for our March 2020 workshop. Thank you. All provinces. We are currently assisting all our provinces.
Especially tomorrow meetings. I'm just going to let you get there is that we are being involved as well from nowhere. We're talking about data, we can process it for different application. Even that we participate, develop a capacity natin in Davao, is a partner dito. Again, for them to be able to process it, specific requirement. That will be part of our program, ensure that sasabi lang natin because meron tayo nito. Kaya na, you can take everybody can lagi ano pa pwede na namin at marami tayong pwede natin. Again, all of them will be involving local people, local talents, local people.
The word Compostela Valley was every 10 minutes. So, yung figure po kanina ni ma'am is one something landslides. Parang alarming ho sa aming part, ano? Dahil tataka din kami kung 1,870 landslides, gaano ho ang frequency nun? Did that, yung landslide ba na in a matter of 1 year? Matter of 2 years? Records?
Hello. Bali po, sir, the number of landslides that was presented combined number of landslides na po siya. Meron po tayong deep-seated landslides and shallow water landslides. Yung pong shallow po, yun po yung rain-induced na landslides. So, kasama na po siya dun sa number na yun. And yung deep-seated, yun naman pong maggalaw po ng lupa talaga.
Since when?
Sir?
Since when?
Yung frequency, ito po ay isang inventory po ng landslide susceptible points.
10 years? In 10 years.
10 years, sir.
Kasi ang landslide sa amin, kasi na-observe namin, walang namamatay. Plus flood, namamatay. Ibig sabihin, yung nangyari sa amin sa Pablo, parang clear na sa akin ngayon, ano, bago nagkaroon ng plus flood, yung ulan, na-trap yung mga mountains, ano, tapos yung debris, binigay siya. Kaya yung plus flood ang namatay, not actually the landslides, ano. Ngayon, kung ganun po, 1,800 in 10 years, in other words, ang Compostela Valley pala magkakaroon ng 180 landslides a year. Kaya ibig sabihin, can we possibly make special arrangement with the Department of Science of how our province will be visited on a special trip para lang maging ready din kami na sinasabi. Saka alarming din kasi yung hunta, pakita nyo na mapa, yung pula, yun ang prone na landslides. We had observed that kahit na pinuntahan na ng Bureau at dineclare na no build zone, meron ako na-obserbahan sa province namin, no? No build zone, pero pagtalikod namin, build zone. Yun no, ang na-anticipate ko nakakaawa, no? Kaya ibig sabihin, naobserbahan ko, pagtalikod ng government, nagiging build zone. Kasi hindi siya makaka-avail ng pabahay kung wala siyang lupa. Yung kapitbahay naman niya, may lupa, ayaw magbigay ng right for them to build. Kaya, ang nangyari ngayon for the past more than 2 years, I had observed na bumabalik din yung gagawa ng bahay na kahit it's against. Tulad one, for example, is Mount Diwata. That's a mining area. Although we strictly followed the law regarding the matter, nag-ano talaga, kaya medyo alarming. Kaya gusto sana namin na magkaroon tayo ng special arrangement between your agency and para lang ho magkaroon ng guide sa amin.
Vice Go will arrange. Definitely. Yung landslide naman, pwede mo ma-pinpoint where they occur. This satellite, based on satellite any movement. So yung 100, assuming 100 years, where it happened talaga. Very specific, very talaga. Very specific yung area na nangyari yun, where it occurred. Pangalawa, yung aming enhanced safe area, it's much bigger than original because we are using higher resolution maps. But we make arrangements.
Okay, we can entertain another question. If there is any. Otherwise, we may have to proceed to the next item of the agenda, which is the signing and ceremonial turnover of hydrometeorological sensors installed in Region 11.
May we request the representatives of the local government units to please occupy this portion of the seat for the MOA signing.
Plastic po. At, dapat tagam. Mas ano kasi, mas maganda pakinggan. So 200,000 ang utility bills. Meron kami identified na same areas. Dumating ako.
Kaya, mas malaki na kasi almost ay kahit sa Manilo. Ang may sabi niya na Masyado. Masyado. Ano lang, maliit na like, pero yung masyado. Dumami yung masyado. At may nataniman. So, yung pinag-gawa na ganito. Kung there was a book na type detect na satellite, yun ang binigyan. So, some of them ay for the information of everyone. After the ceremonial signing, we will proceed outside of this room for the ano meron doon? Ano nga, for the unveiling of the sensor equipment. Sige. Okay. Jormet?